Morning. So let's play with some adultery. Oh fuck. Boy, do we ever know about, all that kind of shit. The system has told us through all of our movies and our mind control fucking relentlessly. Where really it is our mind control in full. It's ice skating with Lucifer down in fucking Rockefeller Center. The way we know adultery as the lower, which is all the truth, but we are programmed to the point where we can't see outside of the shit. So when it comes to this, of course, we think we know, while we've been listening to all these gospels, we've learned we don't know fucking shit. So let's discover what it is. And this will be fun because everybody has something to share.
Damaged. 42. First, adultery takes place. Then a murderer is born
All right,
from it.
adultery takes place. Well, that's difficult for us already because our minds are so fucking defiled. We can only go to the images of our movies. And I should have brought up I guess the title's down here. This one's a TED Ed, and it's called The Language of Lying.
Lying spurs physiological changes. What if we took a more direct approach, using communication science to analyze the lies themselves? On a psychological level, we lie partly to paint a better picture of ourselves.
Yep, all the explanation of fucking Yalta and shit, lie to, and then we think it's about, like telling other people lies or this is the adultery, and it goes so much deeper than me just trying to bring up something. Oh, lies, and yes, it's all lies, but it's a betrayal of our creativity in the long run that is the death of our own fucking soul. And I found something really fucking funny from Impractical Jokers. Let me show you what adultery is. Watch the facial tick that this dude is about to make right here. It's what happens in the brain. What happens in the mind? Oh, that happens so fucking fast. I should slow that down somehow. Right there. See that little facial tick that dude made? That's the second right there, where we betray ourselves. Bam! Right there. Something happened. That dude needed to tell himself a fucking lie to do
On a
this.
psychological level, we lie partly to paint a better picture of
In
ourselves.
some way, shape, or form. If we bring out the reasons why we do this kind of shit, it's always so fucking stupid. And really, to free ourselves is actually just confessing it to the fucking world to find out that the world didn't give a fuck. It was all our own fucking prison and shit.
Therefore, such a voluntary incarnation is a manifestation of the teacher's great sacrificial love. Due to understandable reasons, such teachers teach directly only those who are faithful to them. 41. This part of the original text is damaged. 42. First, adultery takes place. Then a murderer is born from...
See, now it starts to make more sense after going through this and then the little facial tick right there where we all know that we do that. You know that that's the moment that you fucking be in a big old shell game you play with yourself. There's where you played your little fucking game and shit. Everybody knows that. Now that we know that, the shit that's so obvious, the fucking cards are laid out on the table, this shit starts to make a hell of a lot more sense.
He was a son of a devil before.
A murderer is born that murders his brothers and everybody around him to protect that fucking greatness.
Therefore, he becomes a murderer of people now and kills his brothers. Every sexual intercourse of dissimilar people is adultery.
Now that's really difficult because as all of our fucking movies have been given to us about while all that shit is the truth, we are also talking about higher things here as our creativity, our spirit, our soul, and let's just play it. And with this kind of stuff, everybody has something to share, as in the ways you have betrayed yourself, the ways you've betrayed God, the ways you've betrayed everything. And that's what we have to share in. All fucking together.
Intercourse of people which is improper from God's standpoint. This notion has nothing 26 to do with the one used by pastors of many churches to intimidate their flock. They try to control people's day tinies on behalf of God.
They controlling some people's day tinies right there.
Though God did not.
And you guys laugh at all these. You guys won't even listen to like these computer voice ones. I'll walk a fucking million motherfucking miles to listen to one that has so much fucking white noise you can barely fucking hear it. Got to turn it all the way up. Still can't fucking hear it, and I'll listen to it in a computer voice and shit. This shit can be in another language. I'll learn the fucking other language.
From God's standpoint, there is a concept of adultery, and he can even punish for committing it, as we have read in this fragment, by incarnating a devilish soul in the body of a child to be born, or through birth of ugly children, imbeciles, and so on. God is not against sex in general. It is according to God's design that the population of human bodies on the earth is maintained thanks to sex. Through sexual interactions, people also learn, under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, what kind of a person they should be and what kind should not be. Sexual relations between people are also a means by which God teaches us love, wisdom, and power. The most general principles of correct behavior in the sphere of sexual relations are tactfulness, abandonment of egoism, acting not for oneself, but for the sake of the partner, for the sake of mutual harmony, abandonment of coarseness and emotion.
Now that's where all of the difficult shit comes in, where we're getting into the flesh, but we're also talking about everything higher. Everything higher is what we all have to discover. Notice how, of course, ego is said there with it. Well, that's going back into all of this shit right here.
Assumption that lying spurs physiological changes. What if we took a more direct approach, using communication science to analyze the lies themselves?
And then that's difficult because with our egos, we want to take lying and say, well, I don't just openly go around and tell lies all day. So what the fuck is that all about? When really it comes down to this fucking facial tick and shit and this imagination fucking dragon shit where we all know that we do that. Unless you fucking left that shit. Fuck, I stopped doing that shit a long time ago. And so will you. So you will sit in the place where you say, fuck, I used to do that shit. And have a great motherfucking laugh as you teach others how to fucking get past it also. And I think I'm going to stop this video right here. We're going to do a bunch more of these. There is so fucking much to talk about with our fucking mind control, and really the only thing to talk about is what we assume we already know, we think that we know, and to find out that we don't know shit, so that we can learn.